Hey guys, welcome down to Meydan Golf and another equipment review, and we're taking a look at irons today, specifically a brand new addition to one of the most successful iron families ever. Callaway Apex DCB. It's brand new for 2021. It's got a groundbreaking addition to the Callaway Apex family. That DCB stands for deep cavity back, and we're going to take a closer look now. Pleased to be joined by Perry Harper. He's a custom club fitter, PGA professional at eGolf Megastore. Perry, thanks so much for being here with us. And talk to me about this club. Why should golfers be getting excited about this new offering from Callaway?
Well, I'm really excited for it. So the Callaway Apex range has been running for almost 10 years now. Callaway's most successful forged iron. And this deep cavity back is allowing more golfers the potential to use these golf clubs. So naturally they would be for the player type, so your single figure handicaps. But this golf club here is actually for the double digit handicaps. It's for the guys over 12.
So this is the first Apex iron that has been designed for higher handicappers.
Exactly that.
It's a forged club, and yet it combines the feel of a forged iron with, correct me if I'm wrong, Perry, the forgiveness and the sort of playability, if you like, the thicker sole, as you can see here, easier turf interaction, it's easier to launch. The cavity back would provide that extra kind of further back center of gravity to allow for that higher launch. Pretty
much, yeah. In a nutshell, this is a golf club which is going to feel very good, as it's the same forged construction as the normal Apex and the Apex MB and all the other range, but it's just got a lot more forgiveness. That's the idea behind it, forgiveness and feel, but the protection of something which is more of a game improvement iron that you'd maybe see from their Big Bertha range, for example. So they're two combined almost.
Yeah, I actually had, years ago, a set of Callaway X Hots. They were about twice the thickness of this. Now I know they are a classic game improvement iron, but this is not what you would expect. When you put this down on the ground, that to me does not look like a game improvement iron, and yet I'm sure, as we've already been hitting on the GC quads, the numbers are quite impressive. It goes a long way, this club.
It will do. This is quite groundbreaking for Callaway actually. So everyone might know that they use a big super AI computer when it comes to their woods, but now they've managed to put it into the iron. So this golf club here is the AI face. So behind the face inside of here, every single iron is different. So this supercomputer is able to work out what's the best face for the 7 iron, the 8 iron, the 9 iron, to maximise as much ball speed from this golf club as possible. Okay, so to recap, we've got the forged tungsten head and all the associated feel that comes with that. We've got a sleek looking iron that is, I'd say, better looking than your traditional game improvement iron, and this artificial intelligence computer that Callaway use. This has been taken to the iron range to produce those faster ball speeds and get the optimum face conditions for every single golf club. Let's put this to the test. Let's hit some shots on the GC quad and see what numbers we can produce with it. Okay, so I've hit some shots on the GC quad with the Callaway Apex DCB. Initial reaction, it's probably the longest iron I've ever hit in terms of the numbers that we saw on the monitor there. Now, full transparency, I've not hit any of the competitor brands in this particular category. I'm sure there's some great irons out there, Perry, but in terms of what you get with this club, you get serious launch. I was hitting the ball high. I mean, you've seen the numbers here. I was carrying it on average about 190 yards. Now, I tend to, out on the course, hit my 7 iron anywhere between 175 and 180 yards in no wind conditions. So that's a gain of 10 to 15 yards in the air. This is what you'd expect from this type of iron. It's what Callaway are saying about this iron. It's going to launch high. It's going to go very, very far. It's going to be very easy to hit. A player like you who can strike the golf ball really well, you're going to maximise all the ball speed this AI face is giving you and what Callaway say is going to give you. That's why you're hitting it 10 yards longer with ease. No extra effort. That's what this golf club is all about. Yeah, it's interesting because I have recently traded kind of down into the players category with my irons. I've kind of given up a little bit of distance to gain that extra control, and there's no doubt this is a thicker sole, a slightly
chunkier look at address than what I've been used to hitting with, but at the same time, if you were coming from a game improvement iron category, sorry, and you were to pick this up, this would look really sleek. This would look like a really good golf club. And I think that's what Callaway are going for. They're going for a combination of obviously looks. You want it to be as streamlined and as sleek as possible. And obviously this crazy performance and forgiveness, Perry, that we're seeing. If we just zoom in on some of these numbers, if we can. I mean, talk to me about launch angle of between 17 and 18 degrees, an apex height of 36 yards, I believe. 36 to 40 yards on my height. Is that typical from what you would tend to see with a 7-iron?
The biggest thing that we will see from there is the descent angle. That basically means what the angle is the ball coming into the green at. Now, I know every golf is slightly different, but 45 degrees is where we often like to see that number. And what we can see from what you have there is 48.4. So even though the ball is going so far from what you're normally used to, it's also coming from a great height as well. So sometimes the danger people might think it's not going to hold the green. That's not the story. That's down to this whole deep cavity back, the wide sole. It's getting the ball in the air, and ultimately it's coming down very, very soft.
Yeah, Callaway don't often change their Apex family. A lot of these clubs are so successful that they have runs that go well over a year, sometimes even 3 or 4 years. This is an exciting addition. I think this is going to catch the attention of a lot of golfers out there. It's the Callaway Apex DCB. Stands for deep cavity back. Don't be fooled by that though. This is a bit of a hybrid club. It's got all the qualities of a forged iron and all the forgiveness of a game improvement iron, and I'm sure it's going to do very well in the market this season.